The Portland Trailblazers are playing chess, not checkers. After they traded Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks, everybody thought they got scammed, and they should have traded with the Heat instead. Now, after the Jrue Holiday trade, the Blazers have built themselves a very nice young core with the chance to contend in a couple years. So the Blazers traded out Damian Lillard, Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. And in return, they received DeAndre Ayton from the Suns, Toumani Camara from the Suns, Jrue Holiday from the Bucks, a 2029 first-round pick from the Bucks, and 2 pick swaps from the Bucks, one in 2028 and one in 2030. Now, initially, this doesn't look like much, but you have to realize DeAndre Ayton is a guy who didn't really want to play in Phoenix, and that's why it seemed like he hasn't had a very good career there. But we all know he's a first overall pick, we all know what he's capable of doing, and I think some fresh scenery in a city like Portland, where they have a team on the rise that's pretty young, I think DeAndre Ayton will really benefit from that. And I want to remind you that he's also pretty young himself, so the Blazers also get Jrue Holiday in this deal, and it's pretty evident that Jrue Holiday is not going to be suiting up for the Blazers. They already have Scoot Henderson, who is the future franchise player of the Blazers. Anthony Simons is a great scorer, so Jrue Holiday is not going to play. And so now they wanted to look into trading Jrue Holiday. A lot of teams like the Lakers, Bulls, 76ers were all interested, but ultimately it was the Celtics who got Jrue Holiday, and they had to pay a pretty big price. Coming to Portland is the Time Lord, Robert Williams, 6th Man of the Year from last year, Malcolm Brogdon, a 2024 first-round pick from the Golden State Warriors, and an unprotected 2029 first-round pick from the Celtics. So now, just by trading Damian Lillard, Nasir Little, and Yusuf Nurkic, here's what the Blazers have: DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, 1 first-round pick from 2024, 2 from 2029, and 2 pick swaps, 1 in 2028 and 1 in 2030. Like I mentioned in the Boston deal, the team acquired Malcolm Brogdon, and obviously Malcolm Brogdon is also not going to stay, similarly to Jrue Holiday. So Malcolm Brogdon is going to get traded to a contender, either be a 6th man or be a starting point guard on some team. So we're waiting till Malcolm Brogdon gets traded, and I'm sure the Blazers will add more young players or get picks in return and make this haul even better. This team is just adding more assets to an already great young core, made up of Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, and Anthony Simons. Let's talk about Scoot. He was drafted with the 3rd overall pick in this year's draft by the Blazers. He has massive downhill potential and has an impressive IQ to beat his defenders. He can pull off impressive moves to score as well as show off his great playmaking. Playing with a big man like Ayton will help Scoot develop quicker into an all-around point guard. His ability to attack off the catch effectively makes him a potential good pairing alongside Simmons and Shaedon Sharpe in the backcourt. Scoot is the future in Portland. Anthony Simons is a guy who will have a chance to shine now. Under Damian Lillard's shadow for the past couple years, Simons actually has become a 20-point per game scorer and a very good shooter, both in the catch and shoot and as a shot creator, shooting 39% from 3 last season. With Damian Lillard now gone, expect Anthony Simons to have the ball more and have his usage rate go up. He's a great scorer, and now on this young team, he can explode onto the scene. Another young player we're going to talk about is Shaedon Sharpe. Drafted pretty high last year, Shaedon Sharpe is known for his bounce and dunks. However, on the court, he does more than just that. He's known for his ability to take some tough shots and some of his go-to moves including dribble pull-ups, threes, and step-back mid-range shots. He's shown 3-level shot creating ability alongside finishing around the rim and transition with his high-flying athleticism. The team is looking to maximize the potential of both Sharpe and Ayton along with the rest of the young core. This exciting new trade gives the Blazers a high-flying and athletic duo with Ayton and Sharpe. Ayton is one of the most athletic big men in the league. Alongside with the rest of the Trailblazers' young core, this high-flying athletic duo just adds another dynamic to the team. Speaking of DeAndre Ayton, what will he bring to this team and how will he make a good impact? Although 7 feet tall, DeAndre is very quick. Last season, he averaged 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 block, and that was a down year for him. In his best years, we've seen him be one of the most efficient big men in the entire NBA, and he has a great mid-range shot to him, alongside with some great defense that he can provide with good pick and roll. Compared to a guy like Yusuf Nurkic, DeAndre Ayton has A, more potential, 2, a better shooter at his age, 3, a better defender, and 4, better at the pick and roll. DeAndre Ayton is a much more significant upgrade compared to Yusuf Nurkic, and although it hasn't worked out for him fully in Phoenix, Portland might be a place where he can thrive and move away from being categorized as a bust. Robert Williams, more commonly known as the Time Lord, is a guy people aren't even talking about in the deal. 26 years old, he struggled with injuries in his career. However, when he's on the court, he's very efficient and a very good defensive player. I think the Blazers might have him start or come off the bench as a sixth man, which is something he's a bit more used to. But regardless of how he plays, he's going to provide a big role on the offense in terms of pick and roll, and he's going to undoubtedly be one of the team's best defenders. If you take an overall look at the Trailblazers roster, let's not forget that they signed Jeremy Grant to a $30+ million deal, and they still have Matisse Thybulle. Matisse Thybulle is a very, very good defender, but has struggled to find as many minutes across the NBA due to his lackluster offense. With the Blazers actually choosing to retain Matisse Thybulle this offseason, it's interesting to see how they're going to deploy him, obviously off the bench maybe as a 7th or 8th man, and they have some more other young players that they're probably going to play, but this is a scenario similar to the Utah Jazz last season where they have a big fire sale and they trade away their best players, but also come away with a young team that can also be slightly competitive. One of the young guys I think can make an impact is Chris Murray, who is Keegan Murray's twin brother. A late first round pick, Chris Murray is a physical defender with a knack of picking up blocks in one-on-one situations and is switchable, lengthy, and tall. He is a rookie, so it's going to be interesting to see how much he plays. Maybe he's going to actually get some play with their G League team, but Chris Murray, expect him to be a rotational player, a guy who picks up and learns more as the year goes on for this rebuilding team. To conclude, this Trailblazers young core and the addition of DeAndre Ayton and Robert Williams will be intriguing to watch. Once they develop alongside each other during the post-Damian Lillard era, this team can find themselves in the playoffs sooner than later. Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton is the current projected starting lineup. Off the bench, you have Robert Williams, Matisse Thybulle, Chris Murray, and the Blazers are doing a good job of getting a head start in the rebuild. The addition of Ayton and the subtraction of Lillard helps the youth movement and adds roster balance as well. And let's not forget about those picks the team got. In a couple of years when these guys are going to be approaching their 30s and are in their prime, they have these picks to where they can get some young good players to be a contending team. I think if you're a Blazers fan, it's going to be a fun time for the next couple of years. Patience is virtue, but this could be some new times in Portland without Damian Lillard, but for the best for both the team and the fans. Thank you guys for watching this video where I broke down why the Trailblazers shocked the entire NBA and how they fooled everyone making these great trades, building a young, nice roster poised for contention in a couple years.